Hello, this is Bill McAfee. I'm the president of Empire Title Company here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We're giving you your April update. I would like to say, first of all, we're seeing some positive things, and I'm going to talk about in our local MLS. And also, this MLS covers El Paso, Teller County, parts of Douglas, parts of Pueblo. For those of you who have seen past videos, last month you wanted to see me in a bunny outfit, and this month you wanted to see me celebrating Mother's Day. Somebody did call me a mother when I came in, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, moving on. The average sales price, I'm looking at this, our average sales price was about $215,000 and some change. If we look at this on a running average, notice that we're starting to tail out on this, and I've talked about this in the past, and I'm holding to this, I'm still seeing it. The number of bank-owned inventories hitting the market is starting to drive our average and medians down. In fact, we were down about 0.7% on average this month, and we actually went negative on median. Looking here, here's your median sales price. The median sales price was about $184,950 right there, Joe. And basically, if we go to the next slide, this is the running average, and we are on a long-term trend actually starting to go negative. I'll sum that up at the end for you. Looking here on the number of sales per month, January and February were anemic. It was like, then we came back in March, April, and May is actually doing okay as well. So we're seeing the number of units pick back up. One thing I want to say, you're probably going to see a little bit of an uptick here in our local market because we have a lot of VA buyers, and the VA credit for military was extended to this year. And so as long as they had the contract by April 30th, closed by the end of June. So we'll probably see a little bit of uptick in the number of units sold. Looking here, the number of sales on a previous 12 months running average, we still are tailing down. If you want to see this little camel hump hit right there, that was the home buyer credit of last year that expired. Moving here, the active listings. One thing that's encouraging to me, every year I've seen in our market, I call it the camel hump, okay? I just can't do it. Anyway, looking at the camel hump here, we're not seeing that this year, and I attribute that, and I can't prove this, but this is a feeling. Our rental market here is exceptional. I mean, if it's okay, you are renting it. In fact, rents are starting to go up. But the bottom line is sellers who possibly couldn't sell their home are actually renting it, so it's not putting a ton of inventory back into the market. That's actually a positive sign because the buyers that are there, or if you are a buyer, you're going to probably end up buying the bank-owned inventories, which will get rid of them. Looking here on the listings on the average 12-month, even though we've come up, we are starting to go back down on the number of listings, and the old law of demand and supply, as the number of units available for sale goes down, as long as the buyer demand holds steady or increases, it'll actually benefit the market. Looking here on the inventory number of months, we're still just a pinch high. We're at about 6.84 months. 6 months is an equilibrium. If you look back in here, this was in 04 and 05. We actually got down to about 4 months. Just to let you know, the national average is still well over 9. So our local market is a lot better. Looking here on this, the mortgage, I beat this to death in every video, but interest rates, and even though they've ticked down just a hair, they've got nowhere to go but up. Everything that we're seeing in the market is an indicator. I think the long-term interest rates are up. If you are a buyer in this market, you need to be in there. If you're an investor and you're having to borrow money, you need to be in this market. You need to consult with your local real estate agent and find out the deals that are available. Looking here, our market has been this way for the last several years. Basically, 75% of the sales in our market, and again this year, will be under $250,000. The market up above 300 into 4, and once you get up above that, it gets very soft. Actually now, and I'm going to say this, I think under 200,000, we're actually seeing appreciation in that market. The 250 is dang near leveled out. And so our market's a real dichotomy because the upper end is very soft. In fact, if you have a $1 million home, we have almost 4 years of inventory in there. However, I'm going to show you some inventory levels here in just a second. This is just the price per range. But in our months of inventory, when we get in the 140 to 160, the 160 to 180, notice, in fact, everything 250,000 and below is below 6 months. I'm saying we're less than a year or so away in this area right here in the 180 and below of running into shortages actually, okay? You heard it here first. And if I come closer, you saw it here first. All right, going on to the next. This is my sum. Average price, even though for the year it's still up about 2.3%, last month it was 3%, so we dropped about 0.7%. Our median price actually went negative. Our residential units sold was down about 4.7%. Inventory levels are up about 6.7%. The number of listings is down, and again, this is super positive, number of listings being down. But here's what I want to say. All I see is national articles saying how bad the real estate economy is. Here's something I'm going to tell you. In Colorado Springs specifically, if I compare 2009 to 2010, the number of people going into foreclosure was down 12%. If I compare the first 4 months of this year to the first 4 months of last year, the people going into foreclosure is down about 26.1%. The National Association of Realtors, Money Magazine, Forbes have all named us in the top 10 cities to recover the quickest. And right now, our fundamentals are shaping up to be that way. Interest rates are still at historic lows. I'm going to sum it up for you, and it's going to sound like a broken record. If you're buying in this market, I still think because of the bank inventory coming in, that prices will probably soften just a hair. But if you're a buyer, the thing to watch out for is interest rates. You need to be in this market. As an investor, you can actually buy and rent and have positive cash flows. And even if you need to borrow the money, you can do that. So I just wanted, if you're a seller, just know that you're competing against two things. One, you're competing against the bank owns because they have no emotional ties and they won't hold these property values up. So you're competing against them. And also, remember, as interest rates go up, if the people barely qualify, okay, if they barely qualify, it'll knock them out of the market. And those people who are qualifying up here, remember, every point that the rates go up, it just takes down the amount of home that they can buy. So I hope this was helpful to you. Remember, consult with your local real estate agent. Don't lose out on this market. We are ahead of the curve. Comparing us to most major cities right now, we're just in a fantastic position. Bill McAfee, Empire Title, thank you for your time.